Okay, full truth, straight on. I made a video yesterday, and when I uploaded it to Moodle, I did something wrong, and so this is a remake, okay? And it'll probably end up being a little bit shorter than yesterday's because I already said most of the stuff I wanted to say. So now I kind of have to say it again, but you know that I don't have a script for these. They just kind of come from up here, off the top of, So anyway, okay, on your essays, most of them, they were all good. They were all good. Most of them were very good. Some of you could have made them a little better by being a little bit more involved, going a little bit deeper into the story. And that's what I'm expecting you to do, is kind of delve into these things and really kind of dig them apart, okay? But in general, they were quite good. Okay, your comments I was very pleased with. Nobody just said, yeah, I really thought it was good. Everybody went into real examples as to why they thought something was good, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Or you went into real examples as to, no, I saw this from a different point of view, or even somebody even said in one of theirs, you could have done this better if you would have gone more deeply into this idea, or if you would have looked at this, and that's critical thinking. And that's what I want you to do, is be critical thinkers on these things. Don't be cheerleaders. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people that cause the person that they're writing about to think more deeply into the subject. And as you are writing your response, we want you to be thinking kind of deeply about what the person said. Okay? So, this isn't just kind of like fluff, especially on this story, of course. Okay. So, now, a little bit of a, it's not a sidetrack, a little bit of a indication of why we're going in this direction. I'm in my library in my home, okay? And, I have bookshelves and all that kind of stuff. It's nice to have my own separate room so I don't have to set up, on the kitchen table or whatever. It really is. But anyway, education should be more than just teaching you facts. Education should be helping you to see the whole picture, okay? Because an educated person is one who can understand, not just memorize, but understand and discuss and look at both sides or all sides of a picture, okay? I mentioned to you last week that I have to use my hands a lot to keep this thing from going dark, so that's all right. But it's just kind of fun besides. Okay, so we want you to be looking at the whole picture, not just one side of a picture, okay? Now, some of the subjects that you do in school are pretty fact-oriented. Probably a lot of your science courses are pretty factual. Math can be factual, but really math deals with understanding the process. It isn't just, we can all do multiplication in our heads, okay? We all know 25 times 25 is 625, all that kind of stuff. We all know that formula where, 25 times 25 is 625. So if you want to do 26 times 26, you take that 625 and you add a 25 and a 26, and you have your answer, right? We all know those kinds of processes, okay? That's part of math, too. So math isn't just knowing the numbers. It's understanding the process in the numbers, too, okay? So even factual subjects like math. And when you get into sciences, you memorize a lot of stuff, and, okay, so, you need to know that H2O means water. That's a fact that you have to memorize. But you also need to understand where all of that comes from, right? 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. You need to understand the whole theory of that. So really, in all education, we want you to see the whole picture. One of the things that is unfortunately in too many places in education is that too many teachers are trying to pass their political philosophy on to you. So they're not trying to educate you. They're trying to indoctrinate you into their ideas. So for a teacher who is just pouring liberal ideas on you, the ideas of the liberal side, they're doing you a disservice because they really should be talking about the ideas of the liberal side as opposed to the idea of the conservative side with equal force. You know, they should be on the same plane. They shouldn't be trying to indoctrinate you. So education should not be indoctrination, and it should not be memorization. Okay? So, where am I going with all of this? Why am I telling you all of this? Here's why. In your essays this week, everybody except one person said that this was a dream. Okay? And each of you found reasons why you thought it was a dream, except for one person who said it was real. And actually, that person did a terrific job in saying it was real. But I won't identify him. Now, I want you to look at the other side of the picture, okay? Not just this side, but the whole picture. I want you to be looking at the whole thing. So in this week's essay, or in the essay that's due for Tuesday, I don't want to say this week's because you'll have another essay on something else due Thursday. And with this particular essay, you won't be commenting on each other's ideas, okay? Most of the time you will, but the one that you're doing for next Tuesday, you will not, okay? But what we're doing is we're looking at Young Goodman Brown again and looking at the other side of it. So I want you to write a 3 or 4 paragraph essay in which you take the other side. If you said it was a dream this time, now I want you to look closely at the story and find evidence that it was real, okay? So don't disavow the idea that it's real, and don't disavow the idea that it's a dream. Just come up with proof that it was real, okay? And that can be done. Again, somebody did that very effectively this week, okay? Oh, by the way, it was interesting, too, that there were comments on everybody's stuff except 2, and I think that's because they were the last 2 on the Moodle list, you know. And I don't know how that list comes up like that because it was not in the order that things were posted, you know, so I don't know. But the last 2 had no comments, and they were 2 very, very good essays that were up there with no comments on them. Okay, but again, for this week, you're not writing comments. So you're going to be writing about Young Goodman Brown again, but most of you will be saying, this is why I think it was real, okay? And the person who said they think it was real last time will be saying, this is why I think it's a dream, because I'm trying to get you, again, to look at a whole picture, not just scan over it, because literature is a way of experiencing, okay? Fortunately, I have to believe none of us has ever been at a witch's Sabbath. I could be wrong with that, but I'm betting none of us has ever been at a witch's Sabbath. So this is your way to experience one, okay? And this is your way to experience, deep evil. And deep evil is real, okay? Now, quick hint, for those of you that thought it was a dream last week, and you're going to be writing about why you think it was real for Tuesday, in the first couple of paragraphs, there is a really strong clue as to why all of this could be real, okay? In the first couple of paragraphs. So, maybe reread the first 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, because there is something that's very strong that indicates that Goodman and his wife both knew something was going on. Okay? So, have a good week. You're doing great. Try to preserve your sanity. Please be safe. Please be safe. You guys have brought me so much joy this year. I really care about each of you. Please be safe. Okay?